I don't understand why it's so taboo. I guess the patriarchy was like, we don't have that and it's weird, so we're not going to talk about it. But we're going to talk about it today and how, you know, your conventional... Everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that is considered taboo, but I don't understand why it's taboo because it's a normal human function that is used for the reproductive system. I don't understand why it's so taboo. I guess the patriarchy was like, we don't have that and it's weird, so we're not going to talk about it. But we're going to talk about it today and how, you know, your conventional period products are very wasteful and they have lots of toxic chemicals in them, and we're going to talk about sustainable alternatives that will be a lot more comfortable, or at least a lot more sustainable if you use them. So without further ado, let's start talking about it. I have written everything in my book, and I'm just going to start hitting you with facts first. On average, people with periods will have them from the ages of around 13 to about 50. That's about 2,280 days that you have your period. If you add that up, that's about 6.25 years of your life that you're solely just on your period. The thing about having your period is you're charged with something called the pink tax, and what the pink tax is essentially you paying for something that your body can't control. It's like, I was born with it, why do I have to pay for it to control it? I don't understand. That's okay. That's a whole separate video. Typically, people who have their period pay about, it says, a little over $2,000 for pads and tampons. $2,000 over your lifetime. That's $2,000 you could have saved for a trip, or saved for a car, or saved for a party, or whatever you wanted to save it for. Not to mention, there are tons of chemicals in tampons, in pads that mess with your reproductive system. That's not okay. You're paying for something that messes with your reproduction system, and that you're paying for something that you can't control. That's insane. That is insane. I'm not for that. Not to mention, a lot of these period products like pads are made up of mainly plastic that end up in landfills, that end up in our oceans. They're all still here on this earth. No matter how many pads and tampons you've used, they're still on this earth. You can say, my tampons are cotton, they're gonna break down, they're biodegradable. No, because those toxic chemicals in your tampons are not allowing it to biodegrade. And if it even were to biodegrade, the toxic chemicals will seep into the groundwater and create toxic groundwater. That's not okay. And it's not your fault because you weren't educated on it. So I'm here to give you some sustainable swaps that are actually good for you and good for the environment, that don't have any toxic chemicals that will harm you, so that you can switch to them. And the thing is, you will have to get over the gross factor of using reusable period products, but really that's how they used to do it in the old days before they came up with disposable period products. That's just a fact. Okay, so this is also just not including birth control. We're just going to talk about pads and tampons alone, because you pay an excruciatingly high number for birth control. And honestly, paying for birth control, even if it is in an unsustainable form, is more sustainable than having a child that you're not ready for. So just take the birth control. We're just going to talk about period products like tampons and pads. First swap I recommend using to replace your pads are reusable ones. These are overnight pads that I've been using for the past year and a half, and you just put it over your underwear and you snap it using the little closure, and it stays for a while. You may have to adjust the back because it gets a little, it moves sometimes, but you know, that's just like a minor inconvenience for saving your reproductive system and saving the planet. So I don't use menstrual cups because personally for me that's uncomfortable. I've never even used a tampon, so I can't recommend anything for that. Honestly, you really just need to listen to what your what your genitals say. Oh my gosh, that sounds so weird. But really, you just need to listen to what your genitals say, whatever, like, you know, I can't assume what your genitals look like. I can't recommend something to you that may not work for you. You just need to find one that works for you, is basically what I'm saying. Okay, moving on. On average, like I stated before, for tampons and pads together, you pay $2,280 for your whole lifetime. Now, reusable pads like these, if you have a heavy flow like myself, if you have a whole kit of reusable pads, that will cost you about $120 for reusable pads, but it will last you for about 10 years. Now, on average, you are on your period for about 38 years, so we're just gonna round that up to 40. So 4 installments for reusable pads will cost you about 120 times 4 is 480, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I can do basic math, but that'll cost you about $480. If you use a menstrual cup, on average, it's about $50, and that will also last you for about 10 years. So 50 times 4 is $200, and that will cost you $200 for a menstrual cup for your lifetime of having a period. Worst case scenario, if you use both a menstrual cup and reusable pads that are heavy flow, that'll cost you about $600 for your entire lifetime. $600 compared to $2,280 for conventional period products is significantly cheaper. That's a big reason to switch to reusables. The only thing is you're gonna have to have a little extra time to wash them, but really all you do is just soak it in some water or like run some water over your pads to get excess blood out and like throw it in the wash. That's really all you do. I don't know what to really do for a menstrual cup. I'm pretty sure you just wash it out and boil it every so often to reduce bacteria. I don't have the convenience of conventional period products, but it's a lot more convenient for your reproductive system, for your health, and for the planet. So, I mean, really, you save money and you save the planet and you save your reproductive system. I don't know why you wouldn't switch. It's a really great thing. And honestly, these are a lot more comfortable than those itchy pads, plasticky pads that you have to use while you're on your period. Just switch. There are people that are not comfortable with using reusables, which, okay, I understand. That's fine. What I do recommend is not using those conventional ones that are marketed like, I'm not gonna name names, but you know, the ones that are packaged in pink plastic. I recommend you don't use those. There are companies that are more ethical that are now putting out dye-free, bleach-free, chemical-free pads and tampons. If you're not ready to use reusables, start looking for those companies that are taking the initiative to give you period products that aren't harmful to you and that aren't harmful to the environment. Alright guys, I hope you learned something. I hope this was helpful to you. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to see more of my face and my eco-friendly tips, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!